A not so fun fact about slavery is that they would force the mothers to bury their kids to their head, like with their head sticking out, and they would take turns kicking the child until they beheaded them. They would rape their husbands in front of the wives, and then they would force their wives to cook their child's head to serve it to the slave owners. And the most disgusting part about all of that is that the US never even fucking owned up to it, really. They really were just like, let's just teach them the bare minimum, sugarcoat it, make it seem like it was that long ago, and then we'll move on and teach them like so much other shit about the Holocaust. Why did we learn more about the Holocaust than we did about slavery? Like, tell me why. When I remember learning about the Holocaust and slavery, they would go into very specific details about what they were doing to the people during the Holocaust. Like, every fucking detail, bro. We went to a fucking Holocaust museum as a fucking field trip. Like, they teach you about segregation, they teach you about slavery and what they made the slaves do, some of the stuff they did to slaves, and the end of slavery, which, by the way, even after like the laws were signed in at first to like kind of abolish slavery, do you really think that people just let their slaves go? Do you really think back then that they were like, okay, well, the laws have changed, let them go? No! They kept those people even after they were told not to, just like our administration did when they were told to release those people from fucking alligator Alcatraz. Ridiculous. You wanna know some other shit? They're bringing back slavery. They're bringing it back. And you wonder why they taught you the bare minimum about slavery in school. Because they don't want you to see the signs. They don't want you to be educated on it. They don't want you to know how fucking awful the US was. And still is. Still is. We still have that attitude. Like these people are below us. And it's fucking disgusting. Oh my God, I can't. Oh, and you wanna say, oh, how are they bringing slavery back? You're crazy. Florida House Bill 433, Section 47, states that you are not allowed to spread misinformation or propaganda regarding farming or agriculture. I wonder why. It reminds me of the time that Trump's talked about farmer responsibility. Is that what it's called? Owner responsibility? Yep, that's it. Owner responsibility. Sounds a lot like fucking slavery, doesn't it? So, if you don't know what owner responsibility is, or you don't know what I'm talking about, when Trump was being interviewed at Alligator Alcatraz, right? I'm pretty sure Pam Bondi was there that day too. And he said, yeah, we're gonna have the farmers have responsibility over these people, and they won't get citizenship, but they'll get a gold card and they can work in the US. So slavery. And you're gonna have the farmers be in control of these people even though they don't get citizenship. But yet he called it a rightful pathway. You wanna know what a rightful pathway is? It's a program to where you can come into the US and eventually you will become a US citizen. That is a rightful pathway to US citizenship. A rightful pathway includes citizenship. They are lying in our fucking faces. They're bringing back slavery, and no one even knows. No one cares. What in the fuck, dude? Like, if you live in the US, if you grew up in the US, it is your responsibility to teach yourself about all of the shit that the US has done. All of the eugenics, because you want to know another thing? Hitler didn't come up with eugenics. That was us. We did that. And they copied our regime. So the next time you want to compare the Holocaust to American slavery, just know that both of them were our ideas. Both of them. Jesus Christ, dude, I literally can't. I can't. And you wonder why they taught us the bare minimum when the same people that made our school books and dictated what we should and should not be taught were in the fucking Epstein files. The US is just a big fucking trafficking ring. It's just a big money laundering scheme, a big child sex trafficking scheme. The US really is like a fucking joke. Look into Florida House Bill 433, Section 47. They're bringing back slavery, and I can't fucking emphasize this enough that they're gonna get away with it. And then in fucking 50 years, we'll question, how did this happen? How did we not see it? We did, and everyone fucking ignored it. No one gave a fuck because it didn't affect them, right? Oh my god, I really can't. I'm losing my marbles. And because the FBI has already showed him to my house once, for legal reasons, I'm going...
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and salutations to the elect out there pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth, waking up the rest of the elect so Yahweh Shai could return and, change this world, save us up on out of here, and change this world, turn it righteous again, man. Or flip it right side up, all right? Because this earth, as we all see, and know, all right, that this world is ruled in wickedness, the laws of wickedness, the laws of the heathen, and not the laws and the ways of Yahweh Shai, Like she was talking about, America is really just a joke. It's a child trafficking, scheme and whatnot. Hey, man, it's Mystery Babylon, man. All right. Mystery Babylon. All right. All right. These people, it's Babylon, Slakia. It's Babylon all over again. All right. The virgin daughter of Babylon, which is America, and Babylon means confusion, and these people, it's regular everyday Americans, they don't know nothing, man. They don't research into the laws that are being passed, all right? Meanwhile, they're just watching the Super Bowl, or they're watching sports, or they're diving into their hobbies, or too busy partying and not giving a fuck, too busy on social media or on TikTok, using these platforms, using the internet for wrong reasons, for entertainment. All right, they're in a mirthful spirit. All right, play, and not taking shit seriously, not looking up things, seeing what times we're in, all right, all right, they're not measuring the times diligently like the scriptures say, But the topic of this lesson was really about what she said first about the the slavery. All right, the first part was she was talking about what those slave masters, the slave owners did to Jake. All right, the so-called blacks, the Southern Kingdom, and hey, they also did horrible things to the Northern Kingdom, the Latinos and Native Americans too. All right, but hey, we're all Israelites, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and the so-called blacks, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, mainly Judah. All right. They went through hell, all right, in the chattel slavery times, man, a few hundred years ago, okay? And yeah, this is what she was telling you, what she was bringing out, all right, is information that you can look up on Google and throughout the internet and on YouTube, all right, and TikTok. You can just look it up, man, look for it, all right, and find out the horrible atrocities and things that happened during the times of slavery, man, all right. And she's right, yeah. In school, we learned more about the H cost, all right, than what actually happened, the horrible things, all right, that happened in chattel slavery, okay, all right, here in America. And yeah, eugenics came from America, all right. Eugenics originated here in America, okay. And then the Germans, all right, they took it and they used it over there in Europe during World War II, okay? Yeah, she's right, man, But hey, man, they're all Edomites, the so-called white man. They're all Edomites, That's why the world is the way it is, because the earth has been given into the hands of this Edomite, the hands of the wicked. That's why the people are mourning. When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, you know. All right. The problem is the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, is ruling the world. And the only way to change, the only thing for a regular human could do, an Israelite man can do, and a woman is fear Yahweh Shema Shai and keep his commandments. Okay. And a man of Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna, keep his commandments and go prophesy. All right. Usher in the return of Yahweh Shai. All right. That's all we could do. We can't take this devil down. We can't do anything on our own. All we could do is prophesy, and proclaim the truth of Yahweh Shema Shai, of Yahweh Shai and his return. All right. And pray that he'll save us, because he will save those that do his work, that go prophesy and proclaim his true name, Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. Okay. When the Lord returns, shall he find faith in the earth? He's gonna, will he find you so doing? Roughly paraphrasing, is he gonna find you doing his work? And what's the work of the Lord? Prophesying. Okay. Getting built up in the knowledge and wisdom of Yahweh Shema Shai through his prophets, the men of GMS. All right. Getting built up in the knowledge and wisdom. Okay. And then go teaching what you go teach and preach what you know out there on the highways and hedges and on YouTube, day in, day out, week in and week out, man. All right. If you like it or not. Okay. And the Lord's going to save a man who does that in truth and sincerity. Okay. Not in wickedness and unsincerity. All right. Because there's a lot of unsincere men, all right, that call themselves Israelites. And the Lord will kick them out of this truth and take his names away, like IUIC, like Bishop Nate. He was once a sincere man, but hey, the Lord put a wicked spirit upon him to sell out and take the bag, the 501(c) charter, and sell out and stop teaching the names of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. And the Lord ain't gonna save that man, even though he's doing works. He's not doing the right work, and he's not preaching the truth, and he's not sincere. All right. All right. But let me turn this low battery mode off, and I'm gonna bring some precepts out. All right. Nah, let me get this one first. Why not? This is Daniel 9 and 12. This is concerning what she said in the beginning of the video. What they were doing to Jake. All right. Okay. That's some unspeakable acts, man. All right. Just me even hearing that and that image popping up in my head, it kept me up last night, man, for a little bit, I was, but hey, that's the wit, it pissed me off too. Hearing these things should piss you off, all right, anger you so much where all you can do is go out there and preach, This should spark a flame under your spiritual behind for you to go out there and prophesy, man, and proclaim the wickedness of this devil and the truth of the Bible. All right, so Yahweh Shai can return speedily. All right, because the only way Yahweh Shai is going to return and take this devil down and establish righteousness throughout the whole earth is his men preaching and prophesying. All right, bringing the truth out and shining this truth. All right, this light, on a high mountain, out there on the highways and byways, proclaiming this truth week in and week out. Okay, warning everybody. Once everybody's warned and the elect are sealed, then the end will come. Then Yahweh Shai is going to return and save his elect. All right, and press the refresh button on the earth and take this devil out of power and put this devil, the so-called white man, under our feet as our slaves. All right, Daniel 9 and 12. It says, and he hath confirmed his words against. He has confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. All right, for under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. So hey, man, yeah, a lot of that bad things happen to everybody, but nothing as bad as what has happened to the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Lord's chosen people, the Israelites, the true Israelites, man. Okay. Oh, my people went through slavery too. The whites went through slavery. You know, Asians went through. Yeah, everybody went through slavery. All right, but not as bad as the Israelites. Shoot, the Israelites been through more slavery than any people on earth throughout many captivities, many empires. The Egyptian Empire, okay, the Egyptian ancient Egypt, okay, the Roman Empire, the ancient Babylonian Empire, the Persian Medo Empire, okay, the Grecian Empire, and look, now the American miry, mixed the feet that are mixed with miry clay, all right, you know, in iron, okay, which is the modern day empire, which is America, Israel, and all these other countries, you know, oppressing Jake collectively, you know, all right. So, hey, man, the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans have been through it, all right, worse than everybody else. And what she said, all right, you know, they were graping the man in front of their wives while their wives buried their children, you know, head deep in the sand, in the dirt, while these so-called white men were doing their best to kick their heads off and raping the men in front of them, man. Imagine that, all right? Whole bunch of white people, you know, barge into your house, steal everything, take you and your family, your whole family, all right? Take you to a field, all right? All right? You know, make you watch, you know, make you watch your husband, you know, or grape you in front of your family, all right? You know, force you down and grape you in front of your family, all right? And make your wife bury your child in the sand and see these white men kick your child's head off, all right? All right? While you just got done getting graped, and then they make your wife cook, all right, pot roast or cook your son's head, and they eat it. Imagine that happening to you, man, because that's what happened back then, hundreds of years ago, man. All right, and that wasn't very long ago. Hundreds of years ago, that's not long ago. In the span of how old the earth is. Hey, 1,000 years to the Lord is one day. So that wasn't long ago, man. All right. That was like an hour ago to Yahweh Shemiah Shai, you know? So, hey, man. But they want to talk about the H cost all the time at school. Focus on the white man's oppression. All right. What more than the black man's oppression, the Latino man, the Native American man's oppression, you know? And that's just the tip of the iceberg, you know, of what happened to our people. All right, Isaiah 49:15. Can a woman forget her suckling child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yeah, they may forget, yet will I not forget. So the Lord has not forgotten. All right, the Lord doesn't forget nothing. All right, the scriptures say the Lord's eyes are brighter than the sun, 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding the good and the evil, beholding everything. So the Lord sees everything, man, and he don't forget. All right. And you're going to pay for the things you've done, you so-called white man. All right. Obadiah 1:15, for the day of the Lord is near. All right, near upon all the heathen. All right. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. So, hey, you so-called white people, all right, you got it coming for you, for what you did unto the Lord's people and to us, you know. Revelation 18:6, it says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. Salakia, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. All right. So what you white people and you heathens have done, not just white people, but the other heathens too. You Edomites, well, you have what you have done to our people. The Lord sees it. He saw it. He has remembered it. It's been recorded in heaven. All right. And you got a great reward. All right. And the Lord's going to do double unto what you did unto our people, man. So you're going to get double the punishment when the Lord returns. All right. When we put you under our feet, our as our slaves, okay, in the kingdom. And we're not saying this is going to happen now. It's going to happen when the Lord returns. That's why we go out there and prophesy, because when we prophesy, that speeds up, all right, the return of the Lord, all right. Because when we go prophesy, what does it do? It wakes up the rest of the elect, all right, that haven't been woken up yet. All right, they see, and they see the truth, and they wake up to the truth, and bang, they're sealed. All right, and when all the elect are sealed, bang, the Lord returns. And this will happen. You heathens will receive double into what you have done unto us. All right. Which one did I want to get? Job 4:8. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity, all right, sin, and sow wickedness, reap the same. All right. We're not going to be buck breaking you and graping men. All right, but we're going to be judging you heathens. We're going to be punishing you heathens according to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. So whatever is lawful, all right, we're going to be punishing you heathens under the laws of the Lord. All right, so we're not going to be graping you in front of your family. That's fucked up. But we're going to find something even worse than that. That is lawful, all right, in the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay? So, hey, man, be ready, you fucking heathens. All right, for doing what you did unto our people, man. You're going to receive double. All right. Numbers 35 and 33 says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defiled the land. And that's what this devil has done, to America. Or he established America by bloodshed of the Lord's chosen people, the Israelites. All right. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So, the Lord, he cleanses everything. All right, and when the Lord returns, he's gonna cleanse the whole world. All right, and when he returns, he's gonna return to America and cleanse America by nuclear fire and the shedding, the unaliving, and destruction and destroying of the so-called white man, all right, who has shed the blood of the Lord's people, the Lord's chosen people, all right, which are innocent in the eyes of the Lord. Okay, 2 Ezra 15:8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness. So the Lord's tired of it, man. All right, and you can see that the Lord's tired of this wicked place, these heathens ruling over us, because every passing day and week and year and month, all right, crazier and worse things are happening around the world and in America. Okay, the world is getting worse and worse and worse, and that's prophesied to happen, man. All right, like the Lord says in Matthew, he said, these are just the beginning of sorrows, rumors of wars, all right, earthquakes in diverse places, pestilences, diseases, great famines, okay, false prophets. We're seeing that, man. All right. We've seen that already. And it's still happening, and it's getting worse and worse. And so we're in those times that the Lord is showing the whole world that he's tired of it, man. All right? He's holding, he says, I will hold my tongue no more. All right? So, hey, man, there's going to be a point where the Lord's going to return. Bang, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. All right, so the Lord sees the innocent blood, the Lord's chosen people being punished and brutally done wrong by this Edomite. All right, raped, all right, oppressed, unalived, all right, robbed, stolen from, heritage taken away from them, all right, stolen, all right. This devil subverts whole households, man. All right, he takes the man out of the household, passes laws where it incentivizes women to kick out the man out of their household, man. He messes up whole generations, etc. It says, in the souls of the just, all right, the Lord's chosen, his elect, all right, complain continually, and that's what we're doing. Every day we're doing a lesson. Every week we go out there and prophesy. We're preaching the word of Yahweh Shemi Shai, the truth, all right? Prophesying and proclaiming the truth of Yahweh Shemi Shai day in and day out, week in and week out, man. So I hope this was edifying to the elect. Shalom.